Oh, hold on a second. Let me make sure that integration's turned on. All right. Ooh, I need to lower that. What do I need? Unlock the pentagrams. This is level 7. Oh, I need to get 1,000 to unlock that. Alright, let's do this thing. Randomize it. You only use double. Recovering HP damages nearby enemies for the same amount. Alright, let me check here. It's a rosaries. I don't see anything. There is a mystery container down to the south. Give me number 2. Can I break this window? Yeah, I wonder what breaking the windows does. Let me see something. Hey! I love that emote. Oh my gosh, I absolutely adore it. How you doing there, beautiful? Upgrade my luck. Oh, someone called me handsome. I'm not blushing. I'm doing alright. You know, this is a game that you can play with me by typing in the chat when you see something pop up on the screen. Ooh! Hey. Oh, so I have new sound alerts, by the way. Well, not really new, but I revamped the price scaling of it. So there's a hiccup up here. Excuse me, folks, coming through. Out of my way. I'll take that. Thank you kindly. I want to be king! Actually, I'll be back, folks. I need to go to the bathroom. have to get on my Be Right Meat screen. It has been a bit. How have you been? I just hit this big Zubat. Oh man, I'm sorry to get. Well, at least was it good work at least? Like, have you gotten a lot done? So that's the important question right there. Have you gotten a lot done in relation to work? Well, that makes one of us. Yeah, I can understand that, and I feel terrible for you, buddy. And even the days off, yeah, I don't really feel like days off because it's like you have laundry to do, you have to go get your groceries, you have to do the lawn, or you have cleaning, or whatever. So, like, yeah, it's a day off, but it's not really a day off because you don't really get to do nothing. You have something. Like, when I was working, I am unemployed at the moment. I'm looking for a full-time, I'm looking for a job right now. But back when I was employed, when I first started, I was working 50 hours a week. That's 50. And it was a lot. Like, I couldn't play D&D, I couldn't do anything. I do miss the money I made from it, but I do not miss the mental health issues that I got from it, because if I stayed at that job for much longer, I would have been a, I would have been an involuntary guest of the state. because, like, no matter what I did, it always felt, when I was at that job, it felt like I was doing 5 steps, felt like I was doing 1 step forward, 5 steps back. Like, no matter what I did, I could never get ahead of my work. And oftentimes I went to my manager and I was like, hey, Rachel, I feel like I'm drowning here. I am having a seriously hard time getting my head above water with all this. And she always said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, Andrew. We'll get someone for you. We'll have someone to take all this off your hands." No, they didn't. Help never came. It was always my responsibility, and I was like, my job wasn't this. I wasn't hired to do this. I was hired to do that. Like, I was a receptionist, and I love that job. Truly, I love being a receptionist. Oh yeah, so I'm actually going to tell you what my job was. So I used to work at a nursing home. Now, I wore a lot of hats. My job title was executive assistant. The long and short of it, and here's what jobs I had to do, right? I'm going to list them off. So, I had to be the receptionist, which means answering phones and all that jazz. I was a gatekeeper. I was the office quartermaster, which means that I put in the office orders, and I put in the office supply orders, and then I distributed it as needed. I was the mailman, because it was a secure house, and so like we didn't have the mailman coming and just deliver mail to everyone. So I had to do the mail. I was the bank because we had what's known as a DNA, personal needs account. Residents could get X amount of money every month, and they could get up to $50 a day. So yeah, that's supply. I also was the primary for Mass Health, which means that if someone needed to get their Mass Health done, or they need help with Mass Health or whatever, I was the guy to go to. I was the guy to go to that, and this is what and number 6 is what broke the camel's back. I also booked all the rides if a resident needed to go out to a doctor's appointment or wherever. It was my job to book it. If they were transferring or whatever, it was on me to book the ride. I was the biller, so like I was the in-house biller. So that means when I had to mail out the bills, and I had to make sure when people send in money to post it properly. I was the guy who kept the office running as far as like, oh, here's the updated call sheet for everyone. And every day I had to go through the system. Every morning I had to go through the system before 9 o'clock and write out daily sheets, which was the residents, which was like what residents are where and what is their code status. Like, I have Joe Schmo in 101A, and they have a DNR, but they can take full pills, or they need to have it crushed out into applesauce or whatever. All that was my job, but the Mass Health stuff is what really got to me. Like, no, because it was such a mess. I did not like it at all. And I was being asked to do business off and in the nursing home industry. Oh yeah. And of course, on top of all that, I was the executive assistant to my boss, to the administrator. So I was basically at his beck and call. Hey Andrew, I need to do this. Hey Andrew, I need to do that. Hey Andrew, I need to type up this. Hey Andrew, I need to type up that. Hey Andrew, I need to fax me this. Send me this. Blah 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 blah. Now for most of that, I was great at it. Booking rides, I was fantastic. Keeping track of the money, on point. Like there was a point where I had a law office get pissed at me because I kept calling them because they had a client of theirs and a resident of ours who passed that had an outstanding balance, and I was trying for like 3 months to get it. And every time I called, they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you." And I'm like, and when I was on my weekly calls with my managers, like, "Hey Andrew, where's money?" I'm like, "They said they're getting it to me. What? All right, reach back out to them." So I had to call them like next week, and they're like, and the law was like, "You're starting to get annoying." I'm like, "Give me my money!" And eventually, they ended up one of the lawyers actually ended up hand delivering it to me. Like, although I will say this, it was a fantastic crew there. I truly do miss the place because we had fun. We worked hard. But we also, dare I say, we also played hard. Like, I'm not saying that we were neglectful, although, I mean, to the point we were. I'll have that story in a second. Whatchamacallit? But like we all like looked out for each other. Hey, you need a hand with this? Hey, Lou, how you doing, beautiful? Aye, yo, Raz, check the the point redeems. Anyway, so story time, and oh boy, this is a story. So, I left that place back in June. On my last week there, on Wednesday, we had a new resident come in. A new resident came in at 3:30. I saw him. I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm the executive assistant. I'm the outgoing executive assistant. If there's anything you need, let me know. Blah 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 blah. And the guy was, he was mentally impaired. You could tell that. I'm no doctor. I'm not making a diagnosis or anything like that. But you could tell, right? He had no idea where he was. Anyway, so I leave. I left for the day at 4 o'clock. Exactly. I can never turn my back on Ska. Gonna lower this. For some reason, that is just very loud. Like, this is very loud, and that's very silent, even though I have that up to 100%. Like 200%. So. I leave the house work at 4, right? When I'm on the way out, I hear the nurses are looking for the new guy. And I'm like, hey guys, you want me to stay and give you a hand? And like, nah, Andrew, go home. Now, what is, it's what's known as an elopement. Now, 99% of elopements end in-house because, like, they left because, like, they're in the PT gym, they're in the bathroom, they're somewhere, not that they're not supposed to be, but someone that we just didn't know they would be. Like, oh, they're in PT, they're in the bathroom, they're in someone else's room, they're in the common room, what have you, right? So 99% of the time they end like that. This time, however, I'm on my way home. I'm on my scooter, I'm driving home, and wouldn't you believe what I see? I see on the side of the road that guy walking. Somehow he got out. So I immediately call my boss. I'm like, hey boss, I found the guy. He's blah blah blah. Alright, I'm on my way. And I'm now, this guy is, again, he's mentally impaired. He's not all there. So and when you have someone like that, the worst thing you can say to them is no. That's the absolutely worst thing you can say to them is no. You never say no like that. You always try to deflect. Hey, example, there's this one guy who was at the house. He said, oh, I need to go catch my train. And he tried to get out. I was like, hold on a sec there, bud. Let me just check. I just heard that the train is being delayed. You gotta wait. You gotta wait for it. And so let's wait in here, right? And he bought that. And so that's what I tried with this guy who was taking the stroll. I'm like, hey, bud, I know exactly where you're going. It's actually back this way. Hey, bud, I have something to show you. It's back this way. Now, mind you, I'm off the clock here. But I'm a decent human being. I'm not going to let someone who's supposed to be under our care, I'm not going to let them hang in the wind, you know? So I do what I can, and I try to give an eye on him. Now, this guy starts getting agitated at me because he doesn't know me. Yeah, I introduced myself, but remember, this guy wasn't all there. He doesn't know who I am. So I try following him, and I have to lie a bit. I'm like, oh yeah, this is on my way home. Don't worry about it. I'm heading home. Blah, 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 blah. Eventually, I end up calling the cops. Because this guy starts getting agitated to me, which I can understand, because if you have someone following you, but you don't know you're going to get agitated at, right? And so, so I get on the phone with the cops, which, fun fact, if you ever call 911, you cannot make another call. You can't put them on hold or anything like that, which I can completely understand. I get on the phone with the cops, and they're like, okay, we're gonna send someone to help you, because this guy was getting very agitated at me, and I didn't want anything to happen. I didn't want him to get hurt. I didn't want to defend myself. I didn't want him to try to take a swing at me. Yeah, neither did I. Like, if you call 911, you cannot make another call, which it makes complete sense. So the cops show up, and my boss shows up at the exact same time. No report was taken on scene, and the cops like, all right, what do you want us to do? I was like, hey, can you just, this guy's trying to get agitated at me. I'm working here. I have my ID. Here's my boss. He has his work ID on, and the cops help us get him into my boss's car, and my boss takes him back to the house. Now that's on Wednesday, right? That is on Wednesday. The guy elopes. Now, when that happens, standard procedure is to put a wander guard. A wander guard is just it's an anklet that has an alert on it. Like where I worked, it had 3 floors. It was the basement, the first floor, and the main floor, the first floor and the second floor. The basement was where the kitchen was, where activities were, where PT was, and a lot of like the guts of the building. You know, the first floor was where the receptionist was, like the main floor. Is the where the reception lobby was. It was where the short-term rehab was, etc., etc. Second floor was the more secured wing, because there was, on the second floor, there was if you have a wander guard, you're not allowed. You can't leave unless you have the code. In fact, you can't, like, even if you have the code, if someone with a wander guard is nearby, it won't let you go. So, this guy, I'm training. It's Thursday, about 10 in the morning. I'm training my replacement, and I hear a thunk from upstairs. I'm like, "What on earth is that?" Sounds like a herd of elephants going up there, and I'm like, I said that. I like, it sounded like a herd of elephants upstairs. And no more than 5 minutes later, I hear a call over the announcement. No code or anything like that. It's just one of the nurses just saying, "Help, help, second floor, help." I immediately go to help out as much as I can. I mean, I'm not medical, but still. If someone's calling for help, you know, you're gonna go try to give help. Turns out, but my boss tells me to say, turns out that same guy that eloped on Wednesday tried to take a header out the window on Thursday. Now, unbeknownst to me, none of this was being reported to the state, which, if you don't know, is a big no-no. It is a big no-no to not report any of that to the state. Now, you report that stuff to the state to cover your butts in case, hey, this guy's being a problem. Ooh! Oh? Details, Raz. Raz says, got a date on Saturday. Things progress fast. That's fantastic. So, speaking about Saturday. The Saturday after I leave, right? The Saturday or Sunday after I leave. The guy successfully takes a header out of the window. And get this. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts shows up at that time. We knew that they were coming because it was time for their annual inspections. The Commonwealth shows up with a guy on the floor outside of the house, all bloodied and bruised. Thankfully, he survives from what I hear, but the state wasn't happy about that. Now, I don't know if I would be... Because I was the one who called the cops. Now, from what I heard, let me rewind. From what I heard, the family of the guy is suing the house, which I don't blame them for, like, at all. I don't blame them for suing the house at all. That being said, as a person who filed as a person who called the police. If the family wants to, research that, I could be subpoenaed, but I'm not subpoenaed yet. Now I have friends who are lawyers, and I reached out to them with the story, and they said, "All right, here's what you do." Now it's not legal advice because I'm not your lawyer, which. Fair enough. You're not my lawyer, and I can't afford you. The guy I know charges $500. He bills at $500 an hour. I wish I could get paid for $500 an hour, but he went to school for it and everything, and so I appreciate him. But he said that what he would do for me is that if I do get subpoenaed because of this, to send him a copy, and he would tell me my options, which, as he's not my lawyer, I would appreciate. I would take it as friendly advice and not legal advice because he's not my lawyer. Oh, breaking the glass does a lot of damage. Interesting. Also, that's nice, Raz. But yeah. Oh, and on Friday, on Friday, my last day there, back in June, my last day at the house back in June, right? On Friday, a tree fell down. A honest to goodness, full on, well, not full tree, but half a tree fell down, blocking the lobby. Not the lobby, but blocking the driveway. I heard a ka-chunk outside, and I was like, "What's that?" I go to look, and I didn't see a tree falling down. I didn't see the tree down. But soon after, a resident came in. He's like, "Yo, Andrew, there's a tree that fell down there's a tree that fell down outside." I'm like, "There is?" So I immediately report that to my boss. I'm like, "Hey, boss, apparently a tree fell down." "Oh, why'd that happen?" "I don't know, gravity." True words, by the way. I said exactly that. I was like, "I don't know, gravity." And me thinking that might be like a sapling or something. No, it was a big one. It was, I want to say it was about 2,000 pounds of tree. Like if we tried to move that, we wouldn't be able to. My boss had a bunch of, like, he had work gloves in his truck. He had a chain. He had a workman's truck, even though he worked in an office building. Like, he was an administrator. I called the fire department just because I don't know what the procedure is. Like, this is a tree that is blocking the access way to our building. So yeah, about that. Fire department came. They're like, "Yeah, there's really nothing we can do. We can supervise, but that's about it." Which, I mean, fair. If it's not their bailiwick, it's not their job. Um, but yeah, I had to play Traffic Cop. I had to play Traffic Cop then. Be like, hey, you can't be here. Then there was this nurse who was there. She was so worried. She's like, I'm a bit late already. What happened? I was like, all right, here's what you do. You park here, you park here. You go in, you clock in, start your work, and when it's done, I'll come get you. All right. She was so nervous. I remember that. Ah, jeez. Not anymore. That last week of work was a lot. That was a lot. My life is actually kind of boring now. So I'm a streamer, but it's not paying the bills. I'm trying to find a job, but there are no jobs to be had for reasons. Seriously, I put in hundreds of applications already. I've gotten a few calls. I got in a few interviews, but that's it. Nothing. And it's not like I'm coming in. Yeah, I do not have a college degree. Sure, fine, whatever. But it's not like I'm coming in without any experience. I have, as a receptionist, I have 2 years experience as a I have 2 years in very high stressful, in very high stress, busy office environments. 1 year, I worked as a receptionist / data entry person at a tax agency, and then I worked for a year as the executive assistant at the nursing home. So I got experience, and I have whatchamacallit? I got references. I have the former DON, which is director of nursing, who is like, Andrew, if you ever need a reference, you got me. I have the former I got the former social worker. Who gave you a glowing recommendation? But yeah, ever since then, I just been trying to stream, trying to make a go of it, trying to find another job. Because I know that streaming isn't tenable for me. I was streaming for 10 years, right? And I do not have a following. I have a dream of mine, though. I mean, one is to be a full-time streamer that, like, a full-time streamer that gets the money to do it, like, can provide for my family and myself just off of the income I get from streaming, which is going to be extremely hard because of the facts of the matter. Like, streaming isn't easy. It is not a. There are so many kids out there. There are so many people out there that see streamers are like, "Oh, that's so easy. I could do it." And then they try, and well, it doesn't work out for them, which it sucks, but that's the breaks. And it's not working out for me. I fully understand that. Honestly, my run is good. I'm hands off now. I'm just watching chat. But I have a dream to have a content creator badge at Twitch. At PAX. PAX East. I live in Boston. PAX is in my backyard. If I could get a content creator's badge for PAX, one, that would save me $270. And two, that just would mean I made it, you know? Ugh. My cat is loafing. Loafing on a... Who wants to see the kitty? Hi, Farrell. My cat's name is Farrell, named after Andrew Farrell. Let me go to a face screen. Yes, she's the cat. The girl cat is named after a soccer player. I have no regrets. Hey, Berserk, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Great seeing you again. I hope to see you again soon. God bless you, my friend. You have a good night. You take care of yourself. Farrell. Come here, hon. No. I try to get up and she goes under the bed. So many leveled ups. There's a Stargate Casino in Marrakesh? I haven't touched my keyboard in the last 5 minutes. Alright, no one's watching anymore. I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna call it a night. Yeah, bring it on, boys and girls. Hey, Cade. What's up, buddy? I see. DS first that jingle, jangle, jingle. What? It's such a good song. I don't know who does it, but it's from New Vegas. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I roll right merrily along, jingle, jangle. They're I was at PAX, I want to say 6 years ago. And there's a guy that was just casually walking around with an iron on his hip, and it took me a second. I was like, "Dude, I have an iron on your. You have a big iron on your hip. I love it." And it was just a little iron. Hold on a second. Are you seeing Streetlight Manifesto? No, wait, no. Trying to sleep, lost count of sheep. That's Goldfinger. Yeah. I had it running through my head. To be fair, I know a lot of ska. Yes. I actually love Goldfinger's rendition of 99 Luftballons. 99 just Luftballons. Who's sadly the Patriots? Wait, what time is it? Yeah, it's the Jets. They can't win a game on. Yeah. Listen, I hate American football so very much. So, I, so the reason why I hate American football is just it's so boring. Like if you want the hard crunching tackles and all that jazz, watch rugby. Rugby's American football without all the stopping. I actually went to a rugby match. Two rugby matches this year. I went to the Eastern Conference Final, which was a nail biter. Oh my goodness, is that a good game? And then I went to the championship game.